Hey everyone, this is Minion from Minion's Army, and today's video is about how to Lalo, and it's coming to you from the Clash Babes, Clash Beaus War. And the idea for this video came about from a YouTube comment, so please like, subscribe, and comment, and I read and enjoy each one of them.
Hey look, a balloon parade!
I think that's an air attack.
No way, that's a beautiful balloon parade!
I had to include that. I love that commercial. Anyway, so there's 4 parts of the Lalo attack. We're going to focus on part number 3, which is the hound and loon pathing and the things to consider. So what you want to think about are the things that are going to hurt the loons, and you really want to focus on what's left after the kill squad takes care of the base. So remember, we're focusing on part 3, so you want to look at what would be below the white line on this sketch, and you can see the orange arrow is the hound pathing and the yellow arrows are the loon pathing, and I'll show that attack later. But first we want to take a look and consider what we need to consider. The things that hurt the loons: the wizard towers, the air bombs, the mines, the air defenses, the air sweepers, and the clan castle troops. Since we're focusing on part 3, we won't worry about the clan castle troops because we're going to assume that they're taken care of with the kill squad. So really what we need to think about is Town Hall 9, and Town Hall 9 we're going to focus on the signature defense, the Expo. Is it pointing up, and what is its range? So let's take a look at this slow-mo here. And I'm going to go through a few slow-mos, first the Town Hall 9 and then the Town Hall 10 and 11. And if you take a look at the position of the air defenses are within range of the wizard tower. So the wizard tower does probably the most damage to the loons because of its splash damage. So if that wizard tower is within range of the AD, it's going to completely be distracted while the loons sneak up from behind. So as you can see how this works, the AD is focused on the hound, and the loons can just come on in. So the expos, obviously if they're pointed up, they can do damage to the loons and to the hounds. But if they're pointed down, I mean, all the easier. So we're going to focus on the ones that are up. That's usually what you see. If they're down, that makes the base that much more vulnerable to a Lalo attack. So sometimes you hear people say Lalo, that's just shortened for Lava Hound and Loon. Sometimes you hear Lavaloon, sometimes you hear Lavaloonion. If you're using minions as cleanup, over the years it's just been shortened down to Lalo. So anyways, as you can see, what's distracted and how the troops can come in. I believe this might have been a fresh hit, so those Teslas, and Teslas can, it's not something you can really plan for on a fresh hit. You can think about where they might be placed, but really, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do about it other than maybe haste in or rage in. Alright, now what I want to show you here, and this is why I'm including this portion of it, you can see the fight in the sweeper. One of the hounds is going to pop, and it is a lower level hound, and the hounds at Town Hall 9, you just get 10 pups per hound. Now, when your clan castle hound pops, if it's a level 5 hound, it's going to be 16 pups. So you'll see the, or you saw the 10 pup, and now look at the 16. So it's really can be overwhelming to a Town Hall 9 base to use the max level hound in your army comp. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next one. And so let's think about Town Hall 10. Everything that we talked about already, plus the signature defense of the Infernos. Are the Infernos multi-set or are they single set? Now, if they're single set, that's that much easier. And you can see now why it is that you shouldn't rush Town Hall 9, because you know, by the time you get to Town Hall 10, you start adding more defenses. You add an extra sweeper, you add in the Infernos. Everything's a little bit stronger. Now, granted, the troops are stronger too, so that kind of equals it all out. But you can see the Inferno is locked onto the hound, and then the loons come in from behind. The hound is going to fly across the base to the next closest air defense, and you can see how the timing is so important. You want to keep that hound within range of the defense that you need to protect the loons from, and then you're going to haste the loons in onto the defense. So if you look, that wizard tower is completely preoccupied by the hound flying past, and the loons were able to sweep up on it. And every so often you'll have an issue where you can't protect the loons. Then you might use a freeze, or you might use a heal to protect them. So that was the Town Hall 10, and We're going to see this come through. I likely keep it going. The hounds are all popped at this point, so I went ahead and took it out of the halftime. Alright, so Town Hall 11. The signature defense is the Eagle Artillery, and you want to consider, are you going to be able to take care of that Eagle before you start your Lalo attack? In this case, in this attack you can. I have the full attacks at the end of this, this short little intro. So we have the defenses preoccupied by the Hound, and then the Loons are able to sneak up in. And that's the key, and you want to check the range as well. So the multi-set Inferno, ideally for a Lalo attack, you'd probably want to have a single set Inferno, but a multi-set just targets 5 troops at a time. So as long as you have more than 5 troops coming in and they can do their own little tanking, you'll be fine. So he's coming across. As you can see, he chose to freeze the multi-set Inferno there because it's at the tail end of the attack. And there is a tornado trap on Town Hall 11, if you haven't seen that yet. I know this is a beginner's guide, and so I'm not going to include Town Hall 12 because the video is long enough as it is. But let's take a look at this sketch again. This is me, and we're going to focus on what was below the white line. That's what I projected. Now, after I did my kill squad, as it turned out, this was a fresh hit. My thought was I wasn't going to get that mortar, and had I started my loon pathing a little bit more towards 12 o'clock, I could have targeted that expo and not been pulled astray by that Tesla that I didn't know about. So what happens here, this is actually kind of a poor Lalo portion. It was very shaky. The ADs are out of range of the expo, the wizard tower, the infernos, and because the Teslas were located where they were, I ended up with poor pathing. Now it happens, you know, so I was really heavily relying upon my queen and with her charge to be able to take care of some of those key defenses. So I was able to get the expo in the end with those little loons. Hopefully, as you can see, they're going to come in. They can take care of that next inferno while that inferno is targeting the pups, and they're able to do that. But I was not able to take care of the AD with the loons and the hound. I had to rely upon the queen, so I held back a few loons. I'll go ahead and bring in some cleanup, just because, you know, time is always of the essence. So we're still going to focus on the third portion, which is the hound pathing and the loon pathing. So the next hit we're going to see is going to include that, and I just wanted to show this little snippet of what happens when you don't take into consideration the wizard towers not being within range of the AD. And what I should have done is I should have staggered my my hound pathing. But let's take a look at a full replay of a Town Hall 9 hit. So this is Silent coming in on Angel of Light, and he's working on his first portion of the attack, which is the funnel. So he wants to funnel in his queen so that he can take care of the enemy queen and the enemy clan castle troops. So, you know, in the previous replays we assumed that those things were already taken care of, and but this is pretty vital to any Lalo attack, and there's loads of videos about how to kill squad. You're going to press in, poison the troops, poison the queen. It would be nice to use one poison on both. It's a little bit of double duty, and as you can see, he is notching out a section of the base. So he's cut to the town hall. He's still working on killing the queen. So he got her. She is killed now. And he's going to be starting the Lalo portion pretty shortly. Personally, you know, if you're more of a beginner, novice Lalo person, go ahead and wait to use your queen power. Not so much at Town Hall 9, but at Town Hall 10, there's going to be a point in your attack where you're going to have to use her power, and you're going to take your eyes off of her, and you can go ahead and start your Lalo after that. Usually, he was pretty confident that he could get it down and get it timed. It is something that you have to practice. The timing is hugely important. It's a little trickier if those ADs are out of range of the wizard towers. But if they're within range, you can pretty much camp, you know, a max hound over top of an AD and bring in those loons behind without a whole lot of skill. But you just really want to practice this. This is something that you do over and over again. And what I would recommend is, even set up somebody, a friend for friendly challenge who can do their base over and over again, and just practice the Lalo portion. Like, do your kill squad and practice the Lalo portion. And just do it over and over and over again on the same exact base until you get the timing down, and then move on to different bases. So this particular base, he's using the baby dragon for the funnel. He's funneling in the queen, has the rage down, and he's probably going to press her in. As you can see, this base is vulnerable to Lalo because the queen is easy to nip. So if you can kill the queen without having to charge your queen, all the better. And if you can see, he's going to walk her in towards the clan castle using the quad quake, which is another variation of doing the Lalo. You know, there's quad quake, and at Town Hall 10 you can do electron, but you know, he can come in, and that queen can tank both expos, take care of ADs, take care of the clan castle troops, and she has range. She can hit. You know, it's going to be a timing issue because she is a level 30 queen, but right now she has got quite a bit of the base within range. So depending on which way she paths, she should be able to take care of the sweeper and the AD. Now he's down to 1 minute and 30 seconds, so he's going to go ahead and start the Lalo portion, and he's got that. If you can see, that hound is just camped right over top of that AD as those loons path. Now the zooming's poor on this, but you saw the other hound come through, and I imagine there's other loons coming through from the north. And I say he. It's a Clash Babe. I should know better. Sorry, Phenomenal. She. Anyways, that's my bad. You get so used to, there is a Clash bias. There are more men that play Clash Clans than females. And I am so embarrassed about calling Phenomenal he. Anyways, so you saw the snippet of this earlier about the hounds popping and the benefit of having the clan castle hound, and you can see this on cleanup. I'm going to skip a lot of the cleanups because this video has gotten very long, so we're just going to move on. Alright, so the next hits, we're going to take a look here at my hits, and I want to show you the sketch again. So the original sketch shows the queen charge coming in with healers. The yellow dots are healers. I ended up going with 4. We have a blimp coming across the base with loons. Going to rage those up. Need to freeze the inferno. We have a king walking from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and this is going to destroy a good portion of the base. So I used the cocoa loons to clear out for the healers and for the blimp and the baby dragon. So the baby dragon set in the funnel, and we're going to go in with the queen charge. So the queen's coming in. This was a fresh hit. I did not know about that Tesla there. And the king is also funneling. So the baby dragon was at about 2 o'clock to push the queen in. The king I leave on the outside to help with the cleanup. We've got an MVP wizard coming in, taking care of several defenses while the king is tanking for him. And then I'm going to bring a blimp in across the base. Now, I'm going to freeze the inferno because it locked onto my queen. I'm going to drop the blimp. Hopefully it locks onto the blimp, and it does. It's actually targeting the blimp's shadow. I don't know why it does that, but that's part of the artificial intelligence. I raged up the loons. Probably should have hasted. I tried to use the rage too far to the north because I wanted to see if I could get some double duty out of that rage. As it turned out, my queen pathed a little bit unpredictably for me. She goes ahead and takes care of the king. So now we're starting the Lalo, and as I stated earlier, I did not plan for there to be Teslas and my loons to go off path, and this was really a sketchy lucky hit in the end because it's a very well built base. The wizard towers are just out of range of that AD, and with the Teslas messing up the pathing, that made it hard. I'll go ahead and get my cleanup down. All my spells are down, so now it's kind of a wait and see game, but I go ahead and get the cleanup down. I went ahead and reserved 2 loons, and I go ahead and use them now to try and get to that AD. I wasn't exactly sure how long it would take my queen to cycle over to the AD, or if she would suddenly decide to just whack away at a wall, because that's what queens do. But that one last loon takes care of that archer tower. The healers are actually tanking that last archer tower. The queen busts through the wall, and I'm able to clear the base. So we're going to go on to this hit that the bow hit against Queen Bee. We have a Troll Tesla at 9 o'clock, and that one loon was able to take care of it. Come in with the slammer. Now, if the loon hadn't have done that, then the slammer would have been diverted and gone to 9 o'clock, which wouldn't have been the end of the world, I guess, but it does make for a little bit quicker if you go ahead and do that. And this is an electron attack, so with the slammer, he's going to use the clone spells and the rage to go ahead and take care of the enemy clan castle troops. Now, in this particular attack, I'm going to guess that he had planned on taking care of the queen, and that the slammer went off a little bit because of that sweeper, which does happen. But if you notice, the walls are open, and he's likely very confident that he can get his heroes in there to take care of that queen. So here comes his king. This is plan B. Every so often you need to have a plan A and a plan B. So plan B is to send the heroes in. So now we're starting the Lalo portion, and you can, once again, you can see how the hounds will tank for the loons. Now, if you are good at hog or go hog, using the golems as a tanking on the hog, you should be able to convert over to Lalo pretty easily. It's the same premise. The difference is, instead of the hounds targeting each defense, the hounds are going to target the AD. So you just need to pay attention to the pathing of the hounds and the pathing of the loons to bring those loons in and time it right. That's the only trick of this, is the timing. If you can do hogs, you can do loons. So loons are slower, so you've got to get that cleanup down. As you can see, he's got cleanup down all the way from the north to the east. He's got all those minions down. He's going to use that last freeze to help him get the Inferno and the AD, and then finally the Expo. So the Inferno does a little more damage. He chose to freeze the Inferno. All right, let's go in to take a look at... Sorry about that. That was my mother-in-law. So this space gets cleared in the end with the help of that E-drag that was part of the Electron and part of the kill squad. So great hit. All right, here we go on to the Town Hall 11 hit, and we're using the Queen as a Queen charge. Let her take a little bit of damage, and then you can go ahead and put the healers down so they lock on. Baby Dragon is going to help with the funnel. It's always nice to use a baby dragon if you can. It will, the healers don't get distracted and then suddenly switch to the whatever troop it is that you're using for the funnel. Alright, so we used the quad quake in this instant. Went ahead and used a minion on the town hall to do a little bit of damage. The king's tanking away at it. It's just for a speed thing. King walks, minion comes in, queen comes in, and she is going to press forward. So if you look at everything that the queen can reach while she has access to this base, she can hit that Expo, she's got access to the cannons, access to the ADs and the sweepers, and of course the Eagle and the Clan Castle troops and the Queen. So great value for the quad quake on this one. And he's going to, if you felt like you needed to push and the quad quake wasn't going to get you far enough, maybe you use a wall breaker for the first layer of walls. You could always use the wall wrecker or the slammer as well. Nice touch with the minion to help protect the healers from the pups. I do not know if this was a fresh hit, so it's hard to say. It is nice if you have 2 extra troop space to go ahead, and you're doing a walk, go ahead and use, put a minion in your army comp so that you can protect those healers from the pups when the hound pops. Alright, so the queen is tanking the Expo. Go ahead and start the Lalo. Has the warden set to air, so he's using the warden. Now, the warden's invincibility, can act as another heal if you need to. And that's something to consider. Coming into a high damage area, coming into a wizard tower, you could use the warden's ability. So with the wizard tower, you need to, and there he did. He used the warden's ability to protect from the wizard tower and to protect from the multi-inferno. The slammer hasn't even popped yet. Just now goes, adds in those max loons, and he can overwhelm this base. Remember, the multi-infernos just take 5 troops at a time, so you can overwhelm them. Alright, so this is into cleanup mode, and I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe and comment, and thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.